Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukener certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
Welcome back, WSC fans. Round 4 coming up from Lange in Estonia, but let's have a quick look back at what happened. We kicked off in the deep sand of Holland, Etienne Bax's homeland, of course, where several crews stamped their authority. Sadly, Koen Hermans Nicolou Mousset had an incident in qualifying. Concussion ruled him out, so he scored nothing in Markelo, but some of the other crews made the most of it. The fans here loved it, as they normally do. Bax, Cermak, all the other guys signing their autographs. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard showed their worth in the sand, and Julian Veldman had a bit of an upset. But at the end of the day, in the Dutch sand, Bax and Cermak ruled. It was then on to the Czech Republic in Loket to see if they could do more of the same. Well, it wasn't going to be an easy task, because we saw a couple of winners in Loket. We saw young star Tim Leferink show what he could do. Stuart Brown had mixed fortunes. In fact, all the British crews had mixed fortunes in Loket. Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart had a good weekend. Daniel Willemsen took all the hole shots. Etienne Bax, André Cermak fought their way through. Veldman was stunning. It was a great weekend in Loket. Veldman took the win. Van Lukener had a bit of a problem. But Hermans Mousset, race winners too, were on the podium. In Lommel, Jason Van Dahl demonstrated his magnificent backflip. There was more deep sand to come from here in round 3. And who would reign supreme? Just look at the conditions there. Bax Cermak again had a good weekend. Veldman was equally fantastic. Everybody got filled in. But all the time, Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas were chipping away under the radar as some of the other top crews suffered misfortunes. The Prunier brothers came unstuck in a big way in the deep sand, unable to repeat what they did in Loket. But Bax and Cermak, always there or thereabouts. Another good weekend for them. We now find ourselves in Tartu on the eastern side of Estonia, only about 12 miles across a lake from the Russian border. A beautiful city, university town, steeped in history, a ruined cathedral with a couple of viewing platforms for people to look around. The food here, I can tell you, is excellent. The people are quiet, reserved, in that ice-cool Estonian way. It's characteristic of this part of the world. Just the most wonderful situation to be in here. Science Museum, and as I say, a university town with a very interesting cultural background, and a lot for it going forward. We love it. We certainly love the restaurants. Out at the magnificent Motocross complex, it was time to find the championship leader.
Etienne, it hardly seems, well, a day or two since I spoke to you in Lommel. You did not make it easy for yourself there, did you?
No, we tried to make it easy for ourselves, but we had some bad luck in the start of the second moto, and yeah, you know, this is something what can happen. You know, we're all riding on the limit, and no hard feelings. It happened what happened, but I'm still very happy that we came back to the 4th position, because eventually we were busy for so long time catching out our front wheel from the bike from Hermans, that I thought that this was game over for us. You know, I think maybe if we collect some points, but eventually we came home in 4th, so I'm happy overall.
Yeah, and 4 seems to be a magic number, because that is the gap you have, a 4-point lead coming here to Estonia, and that's going to be quite hard to defend, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, at least the good thing about this is that last week the pressure was on us. It was our home race. Many people for us came there, and this week this is the thing for Varrick. So, you know, the pressure is on Varrick for this weekend, and it's up to him how he can handle this pressure. And for us, it's just free ride. You know, we have been in this position for many times, and you know, we just do our best, and we know what we can do. It's a sand track. It's something what we really like, and I hope for the best.
Well, it's a long way from Lommel. You had to go via the Netherlands. The bike's been in the truck. It's been travelling. You've had virtually no time to work on it. Is that why the guys are doing the stuff here today?
Yeah. Yeah, well, after Lommel is anyway a specific track. We have a lot of things that we changed. So the suspension was changed before Lommel. On Sunday evening, we have the mechanic from Reiger. He stayed with us and he changed the suspension back to the setting of this weekend. So we always have a reserve set as well. So that's what changed on Sunday evening. Then we did some small washing things. But on Monday it needed to happen all. We changed the bike, all the bearings is changed, the engine has changed, many plastics have changed. Everything is looked after because our truck driver did start from Tuesday morning. So we had only 1 day time to fix everything. And this 1 day it's good. We can do 70% of the bike, but not everything. And so we don't want to rush things. Truck driver had 3 days time to come here, and now on the Friday we're finishing the last parts. That's it.
Well, I know a little bit about these things, and your man has got the camshaft out. So why are you changing the camshaft at this late stage?
Well, probably normally on hard pack tracks we ride with different camshafts than in sand tracks. We ride special camshaft last week in Lommel to have more bottom power, and this camshaft was really good. Of course, we have changed the engine. And we need to change the camshaft from the engine from Lommel back to this engine for this weekend.
So theoretically, this engine will feel identical to the other one?
This engine must feel the same, otherwise the sprocket are different and the tire is different. So of course it's not to compare with last week, but the power of the engine must be the same, yeah.
So now you know.
Marvin van Leeuwen comes here to Lange off the back of a very, very close overall victory in Lommel. It was absolutely fantastic. You didn't even know you'd won it.
Yeah, that's true. We don't expect it, and we were so happy with the race win, but we don't know that we take the overall. So yeah, the perfect weekend for us.
About this track, I can't remember what you did last year here, but is it something you like? The going is very similar. It's sand.
Yeah, it's sand, but not like last week in Lommel. Last year we take the overall, so yeah, it was good. But yeah, the track is a lot better than Lommel. It's quite a little bit of sand, but with a lot of jumps. Yeah, spectacular.
You're still in touch with the championship. I know in your mind you think, well, maybe it's gone this year. I'll look towards next year, but it's still on, Marvin. Anything can happen in this sport. You know that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we know that for sure, and we will fight till the end. That's sure. And we will see. We can do just our best with the whole team, and that's what we do. And yeah, we will fight till the last race.
You've not been lucky either. Crazy little problems like that steering damper. I mean, you couldn't write that script, could you?
Yeah, that's true. And I hope the bad luck is over our side. And no, yeah, we're looking just forward, and we'll fight for it.
How's the family?
Yeah, good. Now he is at home, so I will miss my child very well. But yeah, I know he is in good hands with his mom. So yeah, it's all okay.
Brilliant. Well, have a great weekend. It's always good to speak to you.
Thank you very well.
And Big Gert van Verven, what a season he's having. He's absolutely delighted.
Yeah, for sure. It's the sport what I love and I'm the best in, and yeah, it's me.
You're having a great season, if I may say so, and we've also talked about that before. You attribute a lot of that success to your passenger.
Yeah, for sure. Ben helps me a lot. He helps me keep me moving upwards every race, and his experience also helps me. And yeah, we have loads of fun, and for me the fun brings also a good result in racing.
You're 22 points off the lead. Now, that is not a huge amount. That's one second place. So anything can happen still in this championship.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's really awesome that I'm that high in the standings, and for sure the best season I've ridden before. And I hope that I can manage to keep the gap as small as possible. But if I'm top 5 in the end of the year, I'm very satisfied. But yeah, now I'm so close, and hope maybe someone makes a mistake. I can be on the podium. Let's do our best.
Another young guy who's been going really well this year, but has been getting through passengers at a rate of knots, is young Justin Kuban. This week, he's with Kostas Beletskas.
I'm feeling good in the sand. Last weekend in Lommel also, so it's another sandy track with a lot of jumps, so I'm looking forward again.
Tell us about your season. How's it gone? I mean, bit of a dodgy start, but what's unfolded since then?
Yeah, from the first races we had a pretty promising season ahead. The first 3 races in this championship we ended up on the podium, and then Dylan got injured, unfortunately. So the season continued with 4 different passengers, and that's not easy to do. The sport is on a high level now, and the last few seconds you need to have a lot of confidence in your passenger, and it was hard the last weeks. So. But the last weekend in Lommel we had a pretty good races, free practice first, time practice first. So we tried to go for the podium, but unfortunately in race 1 he got injured again. So passenger number 5 this weekend.
Well, this Lange track is fantastic, and Kurt Varrick, Larry Kuhn come here in 2nd place. I took a look at it with the passenger.
Larry Kuhnas needs no introduction. Passenger, of course, to Kurt Varrick. They're both here at what is their local GP here in Lange, Estonia. Great track, you've been here before. As you stand here, Larry, tell me about the bit of the track that you fear most. Where is it?
It's behind there, the whoops. During the race, they will get a little bit sketchy and rutted, so it'll be a place to be careful.
What makes them particularly hard to ride?
The ruts and the speed you need to carry to the second one.
Okay, we'll go and have a look at those, but before we do, the first turn, that's going to be hectic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hectic for sure, and you need to be careful about the other bikes, but as long as you're the first one, you'll be good.
Let's hope you are.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a look.
Yeah.
Well, Larry, that's us at the top of the hill, and you've got an engine. I've just walked up. The whoops you're talking about are right behind us. How many peaks are there?
There are 4 peaks, and you need to jump them as doubles.
There's absolutely no compromise. If you don't hit the first one, what do you do?
Then you need to brake for the second one.
Okay, and then second and third, try the jump or just ride them all?
Usually we go like 1 jump to the second one's landing, and then from the third one to fourth one landing.
Yeah, I mean, they are pretty fearsome, aren't they? And they're sharp as well.
Yeah.
So the danger is what? That you hit the other side?
If you come too short, then it might kick your bike over, and
Yeah, okay.
that's not good.
Is it physically hard over there?
No, if you have good momentum, then it's not hard physically.
Yeah, this whole job really is about flowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Resting and flowing. That's the ideal, anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking to us, and good luck in the race.
Thank you.
I'll watch you with interest over there.
Just look at that sky, it's 34 degrees here. Qualification Group A got underway then, and off the line they go. A very sparse grid because a lot of the crews have had problems getting here to Lange. Flight disruption in Paris means that 2 of the French passengers haven't even made it, so they've been given a special concession to race tomorrow if they get here. But Bax and Chermak away in the lead from Velman. Velman there chasing hard. And this race was going to change everything, I can tell you. Julian Veldman got it awfully wrong, crashed in a massive way. Van Lukene into the back of him, and I have to tell you, that was game over for Veldman. He suffered quite serious injuries. I'll update you on that a little bit deeper into the programme. Meanwhile, Van Lukene was playing catch-up. Once he got going, he really had to get the hammer down. He was on the back of the orange crew, Stefan Vyers and Jorrit van Putten, having gone past Tom van der Lagemat. Still a bit of work to do here for Van Lukene. But out in front, Etienne Bax absolutely flying. These jumps were just amazing. You had the opportunity, if you were brave enough, to throw caution to the wind and clear the whole lot of them, just like Van Lukene was doing on his way through the field. Marco Heinze, Rudy Betchart, the number 93 Swiss crew, have been having a great season. They certainly know how to get it out of the gate, and they were fighting hard as well. Unfamiliar terrain again for them, but Bax and Chermak at the front had a clear track ahead of them. That good start was everything, and it's such a short, sharp start. Van Lukene then, at this point, was closing them down, but he had too much work to do after that Veldman crash. Julian Veldman, seriously broken collarbone, was taken to hospital to be checked over, but I'm afraid he suffered injuries which will preclude him from taking any further part in this meeting and possibly the rest of the season. Dan Foden, Nathan Cooper up into third place in this qualifying race. The young British crew have been getting better and better and better, and were very stylish here. That was a great result for them. Etienne Bax and André Chermak took victory in qualifying Group A. Waiting for Van Lukene to come over second place, and then the young Brits, Dan Foden, Nathan Cooper, well, they have to be pleased with that, don't they? Here they come. What a great result for the black-shirted crew.
Okay, tell me, how was the qualification race?
That's it then. Bax, Van Lukene, Dan Foden. Look at that. Stefan Vyers, Van der Lagermaat. Marco Heinze was in sixth there. Adrian Petter ahead of the Van der Velde brothers and Argo Polsar Tetea. Etienne Bax, first job done, qualifying race one. Terrible conditions, must be as hot as, well, I don't know. I can't even say the word out there.
Yeah, well, I must say I like when it's warm, you know. I say always to the guys in my team, the only thing what I really hate is cold fingers. So for me it's better to have it 30 degrees. But yeah, the circumstances are hot. And but yeah, from the other side, you know, we have been here last year and the track was more heavy and more dangerous. So I prefer this one. And yeah, it's all good actually. You know, you can complain about a lot of things, but yeah, it's 30 degrees, it's hot, but it's always better than rain and cold, I think.
It looks to me, a whole shot is always important, but it looks to me on this track, it seems to be even more important.
It's very important because the track is not getting that rough, so choosing another line, the speed is quite high, you know, it's a sand track, but the speed is actually very high. So to choose another line, it can take you 15 to 20 minutes before that line works, you know, to be faster. So overtaking will be not easy, I think, in tomorrow, but start is always key, but I think here even more, yeah, like you said.
It's such a tight turn, that makes your gate position even more crucial. Too much to the right, you'll get boxed in. It's too far to go to the left. Difficult call.
Yeah, it's difficult. So before the qualification race, I checked back the video from last year to see where we were then, and then we were third, fourth position. So it's difficult, you know. We are first one now. Tomorrow we can choose the line, and like it looks now, for me, inside is the best because inside is the most hard, and yeah, they opened the start, so I don't know. It's difficult. Inside is the most hard, but the corner is the sharpest. So I need to think about this, and we need to talk together with Andre what we will do. But yeah, you know, we need to have that whole shot. It's important.
Qualifying Group B, and let's see what Kurt Varick could do in this one. Well, coming here second in the championship, he needed to get a good start, and the Estonian did exactly that. But one of the local crews turning upside down on the track, that was Tanel Reisner, and his passenger upside down. They must have touched somebody, but I didn't actually see it. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard slotted into a good position behind Varick. Varick, though, number 5, he and Larry Kunas ahead of Kurt Van Verven, and this happened. Van Verven hit that second jump really hard. Ben van den Bogart, whether he had a straight leg or not, I don't know, but it catapulted him out. But he jumped back in, they didn't lose a place, and they are still on it ahead of Wilkinson and Millard, with Davy Sanders and Luke Rostang, the number 9 crew, behind and pushing hard. A battle developed then between Wilkinson and Sanders, but up the front, Kurt Varick, supreme actually, in pre-qualifying. I was standing trackside and I got a distinct smell of hot oil. When they came in, I said, "You've got hot oil." They had a look, lo and behold, they had a split engine casing. So, lucky or what? Changed the engine and going well. But Davy Sanders, number 9, strongly, having just about eased and got the better out of Brett Wilkinson. Gert Van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, having not lost a place, finished in second, but out in front it was Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas doing a great job. You can see Wilkinson and Millard doing a good job in these conditions actually. They're having a good season, leading the British Championship and coming here to Lange. on something like the crest of a wave, I think. A very strong season. They are going well together. The green and pink works well for those boys. Wilkinson and Millard. Strong, big burly Hampshire lad. Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupelis on home ground. They were coming hard in 5th place. And that's where they brought it home in actual fact. You can see the results there. Gordiev in 5th. But Kurt Varick it was who took victory ahead of Gert van den Werven and Davy Sanders. And still the sun beats down. Well, they have it confirmed. Varick, Van Werven, Sanders, Wilkinson, Gordiev in there, Ulla Karing and Sebastian Lamp, Tanel Reisner. They were the guys who went upside down on the start. He and Sten Nitsu, but they brought it home for 7th. Ben van den Bergart, you brought it home 2nd. A great result. That's good enough for a gate position tomorrow, but not without incident. A big get-off. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's true. We were 2nd in the start, so that's good. And after 2 laps, he had the good lines. And we thought we were a little bit faster than the leader, Gert Varick and Larry Kunas. So we tried some other lines, and with the double jump, with the takeoff, we had a little bit, incident. And then I lost the control of the sidecar, and we had a small crash. Oh, I had a small crash. And I'm lucky that Gert saw it immediately, and I could come into the sidecar very quickly. So we can continue our race, and 2nd place was the highest possible for this race.
Was that the first time you tried that line? So, I mean, that's always a gamble, isn't it? Especially if you hit it hard like Kurt did.
Yeah, exactly. It was the first time that you tried the line. We had a little bit more speed before the jump, so it was there or not, and it was not.
Well, great. I mean, you're here. I just finally jumped back on, and you're fine. No problem. No ill effects.
Yeah, only some small issues with my ankle, but every half of an hour it goes better. So I think tomorrow I can go for a podium.
Tell us generally about the track. You enjoy it? It's good here.
Yeah, really. It's a nice track with a lot of jumps. The preparation is always good. Maybe a little bit less water between the jumps, but yeah, like you see here, everything's clean like it should be, and I think everyone likes the track here.
Gert, you're not known for throwing passengers away, but you did it in style that time. What's your version?
Yeah, in style it was certainly, but yeah, we saw a good line on the inside, and we thought maybe that's the moment we can pass Gert Varick. And the first jump was okay, but on the landing it was softer, a little bit muddy between those jumps, and then the next one we couldn't jump it all over, so I had to kind of whiskey throttle it over, and then Ben fell out, and immediately I felt that he was leaving the sidecar, so I immediately slowed down and saw that he was okay, and he jumped back in, and I think half lap we take our pace a little bit down, and then he was okay, and we take it home second.
What tells you that he's no longer there, or did you instinctively think he might not have survived that one?
Yeah, I saw it in a flash of my eyes, and you can feel it immediately when there's no passenger inside anymore. But it was a left corner, and sometimes you don't feel it, and you just steer on the left one, and you go off again. But the jump didn't well, so I immediately looked on my side, and I saw he was out. So slow down, wait for him. He's okay. Okay, we go again.
All is good, and you do go again tomorrow. Well done.
Yeah, hope for tomorrow also the second place, so then it's okay.
Welcome back to Lange for round 4 of the FIM Sidecar Motocross World Championship. Race day now, but before we get to that, let's have a little bit of fun on Saturday night, where the top teams went out on the kart track on this amazing facility to go head-to-head. 7 of them went out. Bax, Chermak, Van Lucena was out there. Van Werven was out there. Brett Wilkinson was out there. Let's see what they can do on the tarmac. This was Saturday evening at the close of play before the real race action on Sunday. Van Lucena got his head down. The boys really getting stuck in here on these karts. A wide open circuit, plenty of space, unlike what they're used to normally and what's coming up later in the live races. It was Van Lukener on top of the pile, Bax and Wilkinson, representative of the championship itself in Sidecar Motocross. Varek had a good go as well. Before the races get underway, just reminding you of Glenn Janssen sitting there, what happened to poor Julian Veldman in the qualifying crash yesterday. They approach that jump, you can see now it goes over, big crash, Glenn picks up the story.
Now at the moment he's still in the hospital. His collarbone is broken on several places, 5-6 places, and but the worst thing is his lung is perforated, and it's quite dangerous. So he has to stay there maybe 1, 2 or 3 weeks. They said.
Tell us, it's probably too fast. It all happened so quickly. I've seen it, and it was just over in a split second. But just too hard over the jump, or what?
Like you said, it go so fast. I made just a little mistake on the jump and go a little sideways. Then made a crash. And I think that the main thing is Julian got a sidecar on his belly, on his lung, and that's the worst.
Marvin Van Lukener and Robbie Bax could not avoid the stricken pair, but they managed to pull it back and get going. Poor Julian Veldman on the ground, but Marvin was away.
Yeah, like you say, it's already a crazy weekend, and we have still 2 races to go. Yeah, Julian was crashing in front of us. Not really hard, but the result is very bad for him. I hope he had a speedy recovery. And yes, like you say, the championship is still not over, I think so. So it can happen a lot.
The gap between you and the lead is 38 points. Well, that's a race and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a big gap, but like I already say, it's just finished on the end of the season, so we will fight till the last race, and that's our mind.
They weren't the only ones, of course, in trouble. Gert van Verven, Ben van den Bogart, and poor old Ben, he went for 6.
Pretty well, because the crash yesterday, Ben hurt his ankle pretty badly there. So we tried some laps and it was feeling pretty okay. It still hurts, but the feeling was okay, and we're looking forward to the races.
Talking of crashes, there was a big one yesterday which was notable, of course. Julian Veldman now hospitalised out of the GP. Does that, in a bizarre sort of way, open up opportunities for you?
For sure it opens up opportunities, but we all love racing, and now we have only 18 teams. I prefer racing with all of us together. That's better. But for sure, now Julian is gone, so there's a gap. We can get the points less down. But I prefer that he was here and we were still racing together.
I think we all do. We all wish him well. But now your 23-point gap has no one else there in the middle apart from Kurt Varek.
Yeah, for sure. So we will try our best, and I hope the feeling with Ben is okay, and we can put up the pace a little bit more and maybe score some high scores today.
The quads are with us as well. Kevin Saar was here doing his thing, the 4-time European champion. And the crowds then with the FIM delegates and all the officials being presented to the spectators. Teams as well. Kurt Varek, always one for a laugh. He and Larry Kunas, of course, very popular here. They're on home ground. Well, that's how they line up. Bax, Varek, Van Lukener, Van Verven, Sanders. As you heard Gert say, only 18 crews. Well, actually 19 were on the list, and that is a significant reduction to who we normally have. Dan Foden, Nathan Cooper going so well. Very proud of them qualifying like that. Wilkins and Gordiev going well as well. And we've got Karing and Reisner, the guys from the home country, in there. They'll all be fighting. You bet it. Big points up for grabs with only 18 riders. Everybody will score, provided they finish, of course. Koen Herman's lucky to be here. His passenger made it overnight, as indeed did Daniel Willemsen's passenger. The French boys stranded the wrong side of an airline dispute. So Nicolas Musset will go to the ball, and so will Rodolphe Le Breton. Race 1 here, coming up, don't go away. Etienne Bax hard over on the left then. Let's see who gets away this time. It is Bax. Bax really pushing hard. And there, that's Marco Heinze coming up the 93 crew. Varick and Heinze, side by side. Oh, it's Van Lukenen, number 2. Where did he come from? Marvin Van Lukenen, Robbie Bax, number 2. Hot in pursuit then of Etienne Bax. So the two Bax brothers at it, hammer and tongs, used to passenger together in the early days of Etienne's career. But then he said he outgrew physically Robbie. Robbie, not the biggest guy in the world. He said he needed someone a little bit heavier. Well, that was many seasons ago, and now they've been rivals ever since, but still brothers. There's lots of love in this camp, I can tell you. Etienne Bax over the top, Marvin Van Lukenen. Then it's Kurt Varick chasing. Then it's Koen Hermans. Koen Hermans, Nicolas Musset in that all-white strip. Very easy to pick them out. Varick looking good, a good start by Heinze. Heinze is in there. Trying to pick up who that was in 5th place. Etienne Bax, Andre Cermak, his Czech passenger, never having won a title. Could this be the year? Lovely Andre Cermak, who rode with his brother Thomas for a number of seasons at Grand Prix and at the highest level. Bax and Cermak. Van Lukenen, Robbie Bax, number 2. Following round in exactly the same lines. It's digging out a little bit. The quads have been very active here. Van Lukenen closing down. Etienne Bax, still Kurt Varick in that watching brief in 3rd place. Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas trailing when they came here by just 4 points. Van Lukenen took the courage of his conviction, passing Etienne Bax over that jump. Etienne Bax seeming to lack the motivation to do those big jumps, and Van Lukenen clearly passed him in the air, just off the camera shot. Varick now will have seen that possibly, and maybe fancies a bit of the same. Kurt Varick, Larry Kunas. The Estonian finish. Oh, look at that, and that's exactly what they did. They're alongside. A massive leap by Kurt Varick took him into 2nd place. Van Lukenen leads. Bax now down in 3rd. So the championship leader now trails the man in 2nd place behind him. Van Lukenen, who's playing catch up in the standings, and you heard me say in one of the interviews, a 30+ points gap. Varick now on the back of Marvin Van Lukenen, and alongside almost Kurt Varick is really going for it here. Buoyed on by the air horns, the enthusiasm of the crowd, and leaping by on the inside. Is he going to make it stick? All he's got to do is get the drive. Van Lukenen went round in the deep stuff. Bax went round in the deep stuff, but it's Kurt Varick. Kurt Varick now in the lead. Tailenders ahead of them. Round they come. Rest of the field just lapping so quickly here. In the high 140s, about 1 minute 50 a lap on this very intricate surface. Kurt van Werven, Ben van den Bogart in a strong position, but the top 3 are getting away. Getting away they are. Van Werven behind Hermans in 5th place. There, Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard in a 7th at the moment, and that's Tom van der Lagermaat out of it. Tom van der Lagermaat and Robbie de Vena out of it, the number 99 crew. Helmet on the ground in disgust. Varick on an absolute crest of a wave here. The Estonian flag and the checkered flag, more to the point, and the fireworks go off. Varick takes race 1. Well, that's turned it on its head. That's closed the championship. Well, if Bax finishes 3rd, Varick is now the new championship leader. And Bax has finished in 3rd place behind Van Lukenen. Terrific result. Varick from Van Lukenen, Etienne Bax, Koen Hermans in 4th, Gert van Verven and Gert Gordiev, Kasper Stupelis in 6th, Brett Wilkinson making 7th. Tanel Risa and Sten Nitsu for Estonia in 8th place. I'm here with Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas after what has been the most fantastic opening race here in Lange. First of all, Kurt, victory and the championship lead. The first time you've ever been in the lead in the championship, is that correct?
Yes, it's first time. I think I'm first Estonian guys who take red plate.
That is amazing. Where did you find the speed? Because they were going away, Bax was so fast, and then you found the speed. From where?
Really, I don't know. Good places, and I open only gas.
Amazing. I've always described him as a hard man, and he was getting faster, and you, as the race went on.
Yeah, I think we found a couple of good lines what to take on the whoops. So that helped us a lot, and just keep it pinned.
Those famous whoops that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, those ones.
Now you love them.
I love them.
That's brilliant. Well, another race coming up. The gap is 1 point. Etienne will not give you that easily, will he?
Not much, yeah? 1 point.
Not much.
We will see after the second race.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. I think you've obviously got the speed. We can see that you've got the speed. So are you optimistic?
Of course I am, and we'd like to win here and take home the red plate. We will see what happens.
Fantastic. Great congratulations to both of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a popular win that was. No disrespect to Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak, but they were beaten there fair and square by 2 of their hardest rivals. So they have to find something extra in race 2, as indeed does everyone. It's not as warm here as it was yesterday, mercifully. So race 2 then is going to be a real decider here. Bax in positive mood, always in positive mood. Race 2 coming up. Well, Bax lines up then where he did for race 1. Down goes the gate and away they go. Terrific charge. That's Kurt Varick. Kurt Varick leads into the first turn. Kurt Varick, and there's Etienne Bax look to the left. Where did he come from? Sweeping through. Marvin van Lukenen there in 4th place. Koen Hermans slotting into 3rd. Again, Marco Heinze. Again, Gert van Verven. The same protagonists are in the running here at the sharp end. But it's Etienne Bax. Etienne Bax leading Kurt Varick, desperate to claw that 1 point and maybe more back. So Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak making no mistake this time. Marvin van Lukenen in 3rd. Then it's Koen Hermans, Nicolas Musset. Then it's Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, the number 11 yellow-clad crew. Over those big jumps they go. But Etienne Bax, what a cracking move. He said in an interview, didn't he, that it's a tight turn into that first bend. There goes Willemsen. There goes Marco Heinze. There goes Dan Foden in the black shirts. Dan Foden, Nathan Cooper have really done a good job here in Estonia. They've put their names on the mark. Everybody knows now about Dan Foden. 3rd place qualifying. Great result. Koen Hermans then, number 3. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, looking good. Oh, and crashing massively. That was a big off. Big off. So a bit of carnage there. There goes Etienne Bax. Etienne Bax through, making his way through the race leader. Did anyone follow? There's Dan Foden, Nathan Cooper. The flag's being waved. There's the medical flag. 2 outfits tangled up. That's Davy Sanders into Brett Wilkinson. And now Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart desperate to claw back some points here. 3rd place in the championship now for them. This will be a good weekend for them, albeit a bad one for Julian Veldman, and we wish him well. Julian, if you get to watch this, get well soon, buddy. We really miss you. into the closing stages now. Tom van der Lagemat with Kurt Varrick up behind him. Varrick then won't have time to do it. The checker flag is being readied for Etienne Bax next time round. And there it is, Etienne Bax, victory here. Victory ahead of Marvin van Lukenen. So they did what they had to do in race 2. They couldn't do it in race 1, but they took their courage in their hands and jumped to victory. Varrick then, what a ride. There it is then, Etienne Bax, Kurt Varrick second place, Marvin van Lukenen, Koen Hermans, Gert van Verven, Van der Lagemat in there, Gert Gordiev, Kasper Stupilis, and more Estonians, Reisner and Nitsu, very much in the top 10 this weekend. Willemsen and Foden, 9th and 10th. Well, what a day, and we've got an overall podium. Bax is not there on top of it, it's Varrick, but in third place, Marvin van Lukenen.
First race was good. Just we can hold not the lead. And second race we had a good start. We can follow Varrick, but after the slow rider was coming, start a little gap, and you cannot close it anymore.
Is this a difficult track to pass on, even if you do catch them up? Is it hard to get by?
Yeah, and when you are almost the speed the same of the fast rider before you, it's so difficult to pass, and also the jumps are with risk. So it's not easy.
This has been a difficult weekend in all sorts of ways, hasn't it? People not arriving, and your passenger nearly didn't arrive. So to come out of it moving to 4th in the standings, you must be quite pleased.
Yeah, we are happy with that, but it's still very sad about Julian. So I hope he is fast on the bike, and we're going now to 4th. We take no points to the lead, but we don't lose also. So we still will fight to the end.
Everyone will fight to the end, not least of all Etienne Bax, of course, the red plate holder. He doesn't want to give that up, and he won't give it up easily.
Yeah, well, it was a difficult weekend for us. You know, we had the speed, we had the jumps, but it was not easy. You know, Varrick, it's his home race, and he dealt well with the pressure. So he even got faster, I think. So he won the first moto, amazing race for him. And we're struggling a little bit with the triple, and I think that holds us back in the first moto. So we talk about between first and second moto, we need to change this. You know, we need to jump the triple, although we could not find the speed to jump it. We need to jump it, take the risks, and that is what we did. As long as possible, we jumped the triple in the second moto, and I think this helped us to keep the lead. And this was important for us. We still have the red plate, and we're still leading the championship, and that's important for me.
Your first season with Andre Cermak, obviously, you seem to get on well as friends. He's obviously a top-class passenger.
Yeah, he's a great passenger, and you know, he has experience a lot, and but also he's a nice guy to have around, you know, and he brings a lot of nice people around him, and that is something what is also important, you know. It's of course it has to do with what he's doing on the track, but next to that, you know, you can be friends as well, and that's what we are. So I'm very happy with Andre, and I hope for him to give him a world title in the future.
What a lovely thing to say. They care for each other, that's for sure, and you've got to do that. But when you see this next couple together, you'll realise how much fun they have. Kurt Varrick, overall winner.
Now, not feel it, I don't know, not very crazy. I think tomorrow morning I understand this.
I was watching on live timing, and in the last 3 laps, you were closing Etienne Bax, you were getting close, and then, of course, there was that incident with Wilkinson and the flags. Did that cost you a win?
No, Bax is fast.
We know he's fast, but so this weekend, you have been faster than I've ever seen you all through the race.
Thank you.
Larry, what made that special? Where did you find the extra speed from? Because you were very quick.
I think it came all from the crowd. The amazing Estonian crowd, all the supporters. I think that's what it counts.
Certainly it helps, doesn't it? And this is the best crowd we've had all year.
Yeah, exactly. Estonian and Finnish and Latvian. The crowd is special here.
And now the gap is 2 points. 2 points only. How does that feel?
No, not easy.
Well, the drama did not stop there because Etienne Bax was deemed to have passed on a yellow flag approaching the Brett Wilkinson accident, and the FIM stewards, along with a local jury, suspended him 10 places. So they dropped him to 10th. That made a whole different standing and puts Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas on top of the pile as championship leaders. Everyone else moved up a place as a result of Bax's penalty, but he is now firmly in second. What a weekend we have had. It really has been something else here in Estonia. Drama all the way. Etienne Bax cannot be happy tonight. It was a difficult decision for the FIM stewards to make, but they made it. Every now and then we have to make a tough call. I don't know, I didn't see the incident. I'm going to sit firmly on the fence. But we hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a great show here from Lange. Wonderful people, wonderful spectators, and terrific atmosphere. The world of sidecar cross racing in the FIM Championship just gets better and better and better. From me, Barry Nuckley, make sure you catch us next time, because we are having fun as well. Hope you've enjoyed it. From all of us now at WSC, bye-bye.
Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukenes certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.